Well, here we are in London, and I'm with the one and only Shadowside. How are you?
Doing great. Happy to be in London finally for the first time.
It has been a while actually since I heard your album, which was 2011. I believe I was actually given a copy of your album. So it's been really one of those moments which we've all been looking forward to actually seeing you. So how was it on stage?
It was very cool. I was actually very surprised to see so many people singing the songs. Because I didn't know we were getting this known here in the UK. I mean, we played here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We never played London before. So I wasn't sure how people were going to react. You know, I thought it was going to be like last time, a surprise for most people. But it was very interesting to see people singing and singing the correct words, you know. So it was very nice. People were cheering. I had an awesome time here. So.
As the album, it did seem to start off on a sort of slowish pace here in the UK, but then all of a sudden you were getting quite a lot of radio play, and everyone was promoting you as well. So it must feel really good to have a UK fan base, like I said, singing the lyrics.
Definitely, I didn't expect that at all. Not that we didn't trust our music, you know, but I don't know how much promotion we have here in Europe. I know our label is doing a really good job, but they are based in Sweden. So
yeah.
I wasn't sure if they would be able to reach here in the UK. And it was fantastic, you know. I always wanted to visit London, and I had the opportunity to walk around the city and also to play here tonight. So I can't even describe how happy I am to be here, to have this awesome experience with everybody. And I'm glad we finally made it, managed to get the album here, because like you said, we listened to it in 2011, but it wasn't released in Europe, and then we released nearly 1 year after that here in Europe. We had lots of issues with the former label, you know, not this one that we are with now, but the one before. And I'm just glad the album finally started getting the attention I think it deserves, you know.
Yeah, it's quite a powerful album as well. Everything seems to sort of blend really well. You've got quite a bit of hard-hitting, brutal sort of riffs, and especially with yourself as well, you really punch and come across with quite powerful. But when it comes to yourself and your voice, were you naturally gifted?
Mostly, yeah. Last year I started studying at Berkeley.
Yeah.
But it was mostly not to learn how to sing, you know, but how to learn to perform lots of shows like this, you know, in a row and not getting my voice screwed up.
Yeah.
It was mostly to learn the theory behind what I was already doing, because I wanted to teach as well. And lots of people would ask me, how do you do this and how do you do that? And I would always tell them, I have no idea how to explain what I do to you, because I didn't know the theory behind the vocal techniques. And that's mostly why I started studying, because I wanted to really understand what I'm doing. But I'm basically self-taught. I started singing when I was 12 or so. Yeah. And I would sing along to Queen.
Yeah.
I actually learned how to sing harmonies singing with my mom.
Yeah.
And I would just try to sound like my favorite singers, like guys Paul Stanley, Rob Halford, and Sebastian Bach as well.
Yeah.
And I would have my fun, you know. I would just scream in my bedroom, and I managed to make 2 or 3 neighbors of mine to move because they couldn't stand my noise anymore. And that's how I learned how to sing.
That's brilliant. So, that's the thing between obviously the female voice and the male voice. There's quite a range difference as well. You notice that quite a lot, and especially with the female artists, they can get a better range, but then sometimes the males, it's almost like a competition between the male and female musicians on the level of the pitch which they can reach. Obviously, being a female, you can reach better pitches easier than what some guys can do without really straining the vocal cords as well.
Well, actually I don't have that advantage because I'm a contralto and my voice is very low.
Yeah.
And I don't get to sing the high-pitched notes that most female can, you know. So I usually have the same problems as they do, you know. I had to develop my high notes as well. And at first it was very complicated. I would reach the notes that I reach nowadays.
Yeah.
And nowadays I have a range of like 3.5, 4 octaves. but I suffer from the same problems as the guys. You know, if I drink too much, or actually I haven't drunk at all on this tour because we have so many shows in a row. And if I drink one beer, I know the next day my voice is not going to be perfect, you know, as perfect as I want it to be. So I don't get to party, I don't get to drink, I don't get to do anything, otherwise the next day I can't reach the high notes.
And talking of the tour, it's quite an intense tour as well.
That's true.
You've seen quite a few places in really what is a short space of time as well.
That's true. This is definitely the most intense tour we have ever done. We toured Europe with Wasp 2 years ago, but we had lots of days off. You know, we had time to rest, and this time we don't. You know, I'm actually getting desperate because we have 4 shows in a row now. And in the first days of the tour, that was fine. You know, 4 or 5 days in a row, that was just perfect. But now I'm starting to feel a little bit tired. We don't get to sleep very well because the bus is always shaking.
Yeah.
And rarely we get a chance to actually sleep in a real bed. And last night was one of those occasions. So today I was finally feeling fine. But I know the next few days are going to be very rough. But it's the end of the tour. I know that on this pace, I probably wouldn't be able to tour for 3 months. I would have to have a week off.
Yeah.
You know, so we would be able to keep going. But it's a very interesting experience. We don't get to see anything else other than the shows, you know, so we get to focus on that and nothing else.
Yeah. That's it. Obviously the show's ended, it's night time, time packed up on the bus. You wake up, you're in a completely different city, in a completely different country. Unload, set, everything's set up, sound checks, and time's ticking on, then bang, you're on the stage, then it's the rolling machine constantly.
That's exactly how it is, and we start early usually. We started today at 7, usually we start at 8, but when we start at 7 like this, we wake up and start working. You know, we don't get any time to walk around or to just relax. And that's what's most stressful for me, because it's like you wake up and you're ready to get to work, you know, and after we play the show, we just usually sit around here, have some dinner, and then we are ready to go to the bus again and start all over again. But it's fun, you know. I wouldn't complain about that because that's the life I chose. And this is pretty much what I love.
So I guess when the tour's over, you're looking forward to some proper relaxation for a couple of days.
For a week. For a week. Then I want to start doing it again.
Is there any new material from you guys? Have you penned anything on paper or?
Not yet. We are going to start working on it probably later this year.
Yeah.
Because we still have a few shows to play in Brazil, and then we might go for a USA tour.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet, but we are working on that. And if that happens, I know that we won't have time to work on new material until November or so. I hope it happens because I love touring.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking forward to start writing new material. I have some ideas. The guys have ideas as well, and I just can't wait to sit down with them and actually bounce some ideas between ourselves and see what we're going to be able to come up with this time. I know it's going to be happy, that's for sure.
And have you, are you really looking forward to going back and playing in front of your home crowd as well?
It's going to be fun. Actually, we have a show in São Paulo.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very special one, very nice venue, kind of similar to this one. And people are bugging us for a show in São Paulo for ages already. We haven't had the opportunity to play there in more than 6 years.
Yeah.
I think even more than that. I think it's been like 7 or 8 years since we played in São Paulo, and our hometown is like 1 hour away from there.
Yeah.
So there are no excuses for us not to play there anymore, and we are finally going to be able to perform for kind of our home crowd.
Excellent. So when it comes to sort of doing the tours, obviously you toured with some really good names like Wasp and obviously Halloween. Is there any band that they would really, really like to tour with?
There are several bands that we love to tour with. One of them would be Iron Maiden, of course. We support them in Brazil, but doing a full tour with them would be amazing. It would be definitely a dream come true. If Rod Smallwood is listening, hey, remember us. And
was that during the Rock in Rio?
No, it was a show in Rio de Janeiro, but it was just their show.
Right.
And it was very special because they were the ones who picked us actually. And that was fantastic, you know, dream come true for sure. And it was the second opportunity actually because we were invited in São Paulo 2 years before that. And our show got cancelled because there was a very heavy storm happening during sound check. It was an open air show. And unfortunately that delayed their sound check and our show had to be cut. They even tried finding a way for us to play, but there was no way. And back then, Mr. Smallwood, he said, "We will remember you, don't worry." And 2 years later, they invited us to play in Rio. It was fantastic. I have no words to describe how thankful I am for Iron Maiden giving us that opportunity. If we could tour with them, Europe or the US, I don't know, anywhere, we would definitely do it.
That must have been a dream come true when you got that phone call come through from them.
Definitely, definitely. It was fantastic because the day that we got cancelled was the worst day of my life. You know, I thought I would never have that chance again. It was like the chance of my life just passed through my fingers, you know. And I just went to the bus and started crying, you know, because I couldn't do anything else. I started crying and I went to sleep because I was so devastated. You know, and people started giving us a really hard time after that because we got confirmed for that show 2 days before the show actually. And when we promoted it and it didn't happen, people started accusing us of lying that we were going to play that show. And it was horrible, you know. I came to the point that I didn't want to carry on, you know. I told our press guy, no interviews. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't care about this band anymore. But 1 week later, I started getting my things together, you know, getting myself together and started working on everything again and explaining to people what happened. And then 2 years later, we got that call. They said, okay, this is the chance again.
Well, personally, I'm glad you didn't give up because I do understand the psychological thing, sort of pain that you went through. It's like, no, that is it.
Yeah.
The dream is over. I don't want to know anymore.
I wouldn't be able to give up though.
No.
Even though that happened 1 week later, I was like, okay, I want my band back.
So, obviously, this is the one day tour here in the UK. Have you got any plans in the pipeline to actually come back to the UK and do a few more dates rather than just...
Definitely, I really want to do it. I was quite frustrated that we didn't have more UK dates. I really want to play everywhere that I can, you know, and the other time that we played several places in the UK, we played a few dates in England, then we played Wales, we played Ireland. It was fantastic, you know, I got to see lots of different people, different places, and lots of awesome shows, you know, so I really miss it this time. I wish we had more UK dates, and if we ever come here as a headlining band, it's a sure thing that we will do our best to add as many dates here as we can.
That'd be awesome. It'd be good to see you at some of our festivals as well, some of the big festivals, especially the likes of the Sacred Grounds or the Download Festival.
I hope somebody asked us, maybe not for this year because it's already very close to it, but next year, remember us.
Definitely remember these guys. We've got a question about to finish on. It's called the Ultimate Band Fantasy question. Obviously, you've toured with like the Wasp, obviously like Halloween, but a couple of years ago, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax reformed as the Big Four and played Am I Evil. Now, if you could choose 3 other bands to appear on stage with you, who would it be, and what song would you like to actually perform live?
That's a very good question. Well, I like bands like In Flames. Maybe Megadeth themselves. They could play Symphony of Destruction. That would be very cool. That would be a very interesting experience. And maybe Soilwork as well, or Dream Evil, because our producers work with us. And it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun to tour with those guys.
That'd be brilliant. And what about a location? Would you like to do that on your home grounds? Yeah,
we would start in Brazil and go take over the world after that.
That'd be excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking time out and chatting with us. Hopefully we'll get to see you, not really in 2013, but hopefully in 2014 somewhere in the UK.
Definitely, that's going to happen sometime. We will come to the UK after the next album, that's for sure.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.